Okay, so Trooper Pearson, I'm going to start with you. Could you let us know what training and education is most helpful for the work that you're doing now? And the rest of the panelists, I'm going to ask you this question too.
All right, everyone, I'm going to surprise you. All right. So I have a bachelor's degree. So that means I went to college, and I also have a master's degree. However, I think that the best education and training that you can do now is a couple other things. I think it's most important that you study now in middle school and high school. That's going to be the most foundational education that you have to build off of. I'd give special attention to English. I think that writing, reading, and communicating with other folks is got to be one of the most important components of my job. And I'd encourage you to focus on that in your world. The other side of it is when you actually go into the career field of law enforcement, you'll end up going through several different trainings. If you end up being a state trooper like me, we're the ones who wear the funny hats. You end up going through 3.5 weeks of what we call pre-basic. And that's a pretty hardcore time where the Vermont State Police teach you how to be a state trooper. You then go through a 4.5-month journey called the Basic Academy, which is where every law enforcement officer in the state of Vermont goes. And we live there. It's in Pittsford, Vermont, not too far from Rutland. And then after that, if you're still a state trooper, you go through additional training that we call post-basic. And that's more training where we end up working on our firearms. So if any of you like to shoot or do anything like that, we practice quite a bit. If you like to drive fast, or if you think you might want to drive someday, I know probably most of you aren't driving quite yet. We do a lot of driving, and we just learn more of the laws. And then every year we have additional trainings in between. But Kathy, the one thing that I will say that's the most important training is it's got less to do with what you do in the classroom, and it has to do more with your character now. So if I can just make one plea for everyone here, and I see all the different schools, please take this time in your life to focus on doing the right thing and having integrity, even when you don't think anyone else is watching. So it's not about getting a star at the end of the day or being given a trophy. It's just about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. In our world and in my world as a police officer, lots of people apply for this job and do not get it simply because of bad decisions they made early on in their life. And I really believe that everyone here is a good person. And I think that you all have it in you to do whatever you put your mind to. But if you think you want to be in law enforcement, I highly encourage you, again, really work on doing the right thing no matter what. Okay? Awesome. Thank you so much, Kathy.
Yeah, thanks, Trooper Pearson.